Welcome back, aspirants, to another high-yield explainer on Rungta IAS Academy's channel. Today, we're taking a strictly analytical look at some crucial new data from the Ministry of Fertilizers. This is directly relevant to your General Studies Paper 3 syllabus, specifically under Economy and Agriculture. Let's not waste any time and jump right in to decode what this means for India's macroeconomic stability.
Absolutely. Hello, students. As you know, agricultural input management is a favorite topic for UPSC, both for your mains answers and the interview stage. Today's explainer is going to give you the exact data points you need to confidently substantiate your arguments on supply chain resilience. Let's get started. So let's first establish the context for the upcoming Kharif 2026 season. There was recently a high-level interministerial briefing. The main agenda? To seriously assess the impact of recent geopolitical developments in West Asia on our domestic fertilizer production and availability. Exactly. And we have to be objective here as analysts. This briefing was also a direct response to recent concerns and criticisms raised by the opposition regarding potential shortfalls in cooking gas and fertilizers. As UPSC aspirants, you know that external geopolitical shocks almost always trigger domestic supply chain anxieties. Our focus today is to see exactly how the government's latest data answers those anxieties. Which brings us to the core, critical question of this explainer. Is India's fertilizer supply actually stable amidst all these global disruptions? Think about it. If the interview board poses this exact question to you, you absolutely cannot just nod and give a generic yes or no.
Precisely. The board wants empirical evidence. You have to demonstrate that you understand how the ministry actually evaluates the requirement versus the current stock. The data we're about to unpack is your direct, evidence-based answer to any concerns regarding our agricultural supply chain.
Now, if you take away only one thing from today, let it be this single, most powerful metric, 49%. For the Kharif 2026 season, the Ministry of Fertilizers assessed a total requirement of 390.54 lakh metric tons, or LMT.
Right, and out of that massive required 390.54 LMT, the current available stock is already sitting at a very comfortable 190 LMT. That means exactly 49% of the total requirement is already secured and available on the ground. Students, this is a massive data point. Jot it down immediately for your GS3 essays.
But to truly appreciate why that 49% figure matters so much, we need a benchmark, right? Historically speaking, the usual level of advanced stocking around this time of the year is only about 33%. So the crucial takeaway here is the sheer magnitude of this jump. We've moved from a historical average of 33% to a robust current stockpile of 49%. When you're writing your mains answers on proactive governance or strategic buffer stocking in agriculture, citing this specific comparison is going to fetch you those extra marks. Now, let's break down the microdata and see how this builds across the different fertilizer categories. You don't need to mug up every single decimal, but note the trend. The overall position has improved significantly to 190.21 LMT compared to just 169.24 LMT last year.
Spot on.
Just notice the marked improvements in the critical categories. Diammonium phosphate, or DAP, is up to 22.35 LMT from 15.07 LMT. Look at NPK, surging to 57.56 LMT. Urea and SSP remain rock stable with slight increases. This granular data is your absolute proof when you argue that the agricultural input situation is, frankly, strong and well managed. Now, how does this connect back to the agricultural subsidies topic in your syllabus? Well, despite the external geopolitical shocks we mentioned earlier, the retail prices for our farmers remain completely untouched, and this is absolutely vital for the farming community's economic health. Urea remains pegged at 266.5 per bag, DAP is holding steady at $1,350, and triple superphosphate, or TSP, sits at $1,300. By absorbing the severe global price volatility, the center is actively shielding the farmers. This is a critical pillar of India's broader food security apparatus. So, how did the government actually achieve this level of stability? They utilized a very classic dual-pronged strategy. First, on the domestic front, they tackled natural gas availability issues head-on. Currently, they've ensured approximately 97% LNG and RLNG availability for domestic fertilizer plants. That means most of our urea plants are running right at optimum capacity. Simultaneously, they didn't just rely on domestic production, they aggressively pursued global diversification. In February alone, India secured 13.07 LMT of urea through a global tender, and they've diversified import sources to secure an additional 25 LMT. This balance, maximizing domestic output while hedging risks with diverse global imports, is literally textbook supply chain risk management.
As faculty members, we always stress the importance of using official administrative terminology in your exams. So I strongly advise you to memorize this exact quote from Additional Secretary Aparna S. Sharma. Absolutely. Write this down in your notes right now. This reflects improved planning, advanced stocking, and efficient logistics management by the government. If you are writing a critical analysis on supply chain management in agriculture, using this exact phrasing gives you a perfect, ready-made, authoritative conclusion.
To wrap up today's explainer, we want to leave you with a provocative thought, structured exactly like a practice question for your GS3 mains preparation. How does advanced stocking mitigate global supply chain shocks? Discuss.
Take the hard data points we just discussed today, the 49% advanced stock, the domestic LNG security, the diversified global tenders, and apply them to build out this answer. Thank you so much for joining this session on Rungta IAS Academy's channel. Keep your preparation focused, use your data wisely, and we will see you in the next explainer.